Hello, everybody, and welcome to ZGG IBS Week 2. This week, we're going to be streaming the Fallen University versus Abyssal Emerald. The Fallen has come off of a hot Week 1. They looked absolutely disgusting, especially for a newer org. And Abyssal, with their first game, with their intended lineup, with their mid laner finally coming in after missing out on Week 1, it's going to be a good series.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this one a little bit. Last week we did see Fallen taking down VBU Titanium, VBU an org that's done very, very well in past ZGGs across all three leagues that we have here. And definitely want to see what Abyssal is able to do now with their team finally coming together. Definitely want to see what happens in terms of draft for that at the very least.
Yeah, drafting, especially for this game, is going to be an incredibly tall task. As Abyssal Emerald, I really don't know what you do. God has a champion, Ocean. He played 3 different champs in his 3 games and popped off on all of them, all completely different styles as well. He had power farmers, he had invading champs like the Kindred, and then he had Sejuani just to bolster his lanes. Absolute beast of a player. And on the opposite side, finally, Jason KB23 going to be in the top lane in his intended role. So we'll see if that changes the bans for the Fallen University on the other side.
Yeah, we will definitely see. This draft should be getting started momentarily. Just waiting on a few touch-ups, it looks like, from one of the captains here, but
looks like the Fallen is the one waiting for.
Yeah, well, we've gotten ready checks, so just waiting on the draft to start up here. Let's see real quick. Yeah, it is just waiting on the Fallen for that ready check. I'm definitely interested, though, to see just how well BotGod's able to continue playing these multiple champions, multiple styles, see how deep that ocean goes, because you mentioned 3 separate champions last week. With the potential of those 3 getting banned out, I'm not saying it's necessarily the best idea or what will happen, but I want to see how many champions he's able to pull out, even outside of those 3 last week.
Absolutely. The other thing I'm incredibly curious about, BotGod and his mid laner, Young Rich Boy, were the only ones that performed very well in their loss. Their first game was the loss to BBU. And since it was not the stream game, and give us your raffle files, please. I didn't get any raffle files. I'm not really too sure how much of that was BotGod just being a better jungler and just jungle gapping, and how much of it was Young Rich Boy, who seems to be on a more of a control mage champion pool. How much of that is built off of his control of the mid 2v2, and how much of it is just on the difference that BotGod has in the jungle?
Yeah, we will have to see. Apologies on my end. Still trying to figure out a lot of the production back end. For those who aren't aware, I happen to do the production for IBS and Gold League normally, so still handling a lot of that at the moment. We might have to remake the pick ban right now, so give me 1 second.
Took too long?
Yeah, we'll see.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. Alright, that's alright.
Cover. Oh, they
the
got
other
it
big
to
question,
work.
Oh, they got it?
Okay, well.
Nice, we've gotten in. First ban's going to be an Alistar. I was going to mention, for the bot side, as we look, Fallen University's ban is that Alistar. Abyssal Emerald, Yami is their veteran, and T1's forehead being their captain. 2 players that were hoping to step up more so than they did in their Week 1 debut. So, but getting out that Alistar ban against them, and it looks like for Abyssal Emerald, going to be focusing solely on the mid lane pool for Young Rich Boy again, we're not sure how much of the mid 2v2 is his doing and how much of it is his junglers. But Abyssal Emerald have clearly discovered just about what everyone else has, and that's the mid 2v2 is a scary place.
Definitely interesting to see a Kindred first pick coming out. It's not a champ I've seen a ton of as of late. She definitely feels strong. You can go down the lines that most ADs will go down with, the Kraken Slayer, Gale Force, one of the two. Depending on the situation. Pantheon, yeah, I saw this in a match history or two popping up. But
my biggest curiosity, to be honest, is the ability that Fallen University is so confident in this Kindred that they're willing to blind pick it. Kindred isn't often blind picked. There's a lot of things that can really ruin a Kindred's day. And the Fallen have said that doesn't matter because Bot God is just that good. And to answer, Abyssal have locked in the Galio, gonna be usually paired with the Kindred, but can be a great counter coming out of the Kindred ultimate for whichever team has the Galio.
Yeah, my concern there is if Galio ults a little too preemptively, that's a really, really free Kindred ult to follow for Fallen. And okay, this could still pivot to like Galio support, but I really hope this hover gets locked in. I actually really like pushing matchups in a Galio because he has no way to respond to it. And Mel's is known for excessive amounts of pushing, and perfect, it's locked in.
Absolutely. And we didn't mention it earlier, but locking in the Shen for Fallen, I like that pick a lot. Galio has the semi-global pressure with the ultimate, and the Fallen say, anything you could do, I could do better. Locking in the Shen for complete map control, trying to be able to influence wherever the fight may be. And Abyssal Emerald lock in the Caitlyn, so potentially they're full bot lane picked, but again, that Galio could be flexed.
So Galio could be flexed, Pantheon could be flexed. I'm not really huge on either of them with a Caitlyn. Galio, I think, is a little better for like later on. Pantheon can definitely get early kills in that lane with Kate. This Trist hover, I guess they're assuming one of these two champs is going to be support. It's fair. Pantheon, I think, can flex to like anywhere aside from AD carry.
I was going to say Pantheon is just about a four role flex. I think either solo lane or the jungle support roles would all be happy to get a Pantheon. But it looks like bans are going to be focused mostly entirely on the bot side. The ADC champ pool for Fallen is going to be pinched pretty heavily, the MF being banned in first rotation, and both Twitch and Aphelios, two of the most common picks for Brandon Needs Help and Ziphis in the bot lane. So curious to see what they're able to pull out here.
So not banned makes sense here. Cyber Angel Yemi kind of really loves Nautilus this season from the looks of it. Rumble ban. Oh, I saw the Graves hover, and I was about to say, it looks like they think Pantheon Galio are just going to be solo laners, no jungles, but the Rumble confuses me a little bit when you have Kindred. It's not necessarily a bad ban, but okay, that's a Darius.
Ho ho ho! Jason KB23 said, "This is my top lane, finally in there from the mid lane," and he's ready to show that when he's in his right role, he can be a top performer in ZGG. I'm very excited to see what he can do here.
Yeah, it's also not a bad matchup in Deshen. It's playable for both sides, I'll say, but Darius, if he gets ahead, we've all seen it in solo queue, that will steamroll a composition. Ashe, I was kind of hoping this would be Ashe Seraphine, honestly. More setup for Kindred. You'd be a little low damage, but you're going to be low damage if you lock in Lulu here as well.
I mean, Seraphine is really the jack of all trades at the moment. She's just so good at what she does. It's hard to find a champ that does what she can do. But with the Lulu, they are really putting all their coins in the Bot God pouch because they're betting on a Kindred carry here.
Yeah, this is a lot of utility, just setting up the Kindred to do well, to succeed in this game. This Lulu also dissuades a Morgana pickup, so you don't get the Cape Morg. Seraphine, all right, I'm here for it.
I'll never say no to a Seraphine. I'm not too confident that the Seraphine Caitlyn is amazing. Caitlyn with some of the highest range that you can have at the AD carry position can lead to a ton of poke paired with the Seraphine. But at the same time, it would have been nice to see Morgana wasn't banned. I think Kate Morgana would have given them a possible win condition in the bot lane. I also think that I'm not sure how much Seraphine can do into a Lulu because all that poke is going to be shielded. But we'll see how they do it. I think both teams, I like their drafts a lot. I like the ways that they played their drafts. I'm not too sure if it was good to pick that Darius pick 5 or to pick 4 and leave the support.
Yeah, especially with the possibility of the Shen flex, right? But it worked out. I think my concern here is just to see how Ashe Lulu will function as a lane. I don't necessarily think it's going to be bad, but you did mention the issues of playing Lulu into Seraphine, where she can regen a lot of that health back from the poke lane. It's still concerning. You're playing Ashe into Caitlyn. That's not fun to be playing Caitlyn in. There's the chance, I guess, of Galio support instead of Seraphine support, and we see Seraphine mid. So I'm definitely interested.
Point. I more so expect the Seraphine to stay bot, but that's definitely an interesting possibility. As it stands with Caitlyn Seraphine as the expected bot lane, we'll say, Ashe Lulu and Kate Seraphine are most likely going to be trying to attempt the same type of lane. They're going to be Ashe with the W. Often she can go Comet if she doesn't go lethal tempo. It's going to be a lot of poke on both sides, and Seraphine obviously has the healing and shield. So does Lulu. So it'll be interesting to see which side has their poke actually last, which can actually stick the damage and get it to a point where when the Pantheon rolls around, or when Carry Kindred over in the hands of Bot God comes to the bot lane, who's actually low enough that they are in trouble of getting potentially killed in the 2v2.
And generally speaking, that will benefit the champions that have healing in their kits. So Seraphine's Empowered W, or Echo W if you want to call it that, I suppose. I was about to say something jokingly about Darius Jungle becoming a thing because Riot wanted it to forever ago. It's not. This, so far...
Hey, anything can happen here.
I suppose. Was not expecting a Darius Jungle, that's what I'll say. This will tell us a lot. I'm expecting this to be Galio, but if they really wanted to, Seraphine wouldn't be bad here in the mid lane. It is going to be Galio, so it's going to be rough for only magical girls here in the mid.
Yeah, and on the opposite side of the coin, when we're looking at Abyssal, Jason KB23, he's been popping off on banter. I'm excited that the league has started to talk about him. And if you want to make your name known, this is how you do it. Darius is the worst matchup, I'm pretty sure for Shen in terms of pure win rate. I think Shen has a very difficult time. There is a lot of play around, but it's, in terms of execution, just much simpler on the side of the Darius. If you are using your W to block the Darius W to get so he doesn't get that slow, then it can be incredibly difficult. And then is it more of a play in terms of whose CC was used more effectively? But in terms of ease of execution, Darius has a much easier time, and that's why the win rates do sway heavily in the Darius's favor. So I'm interested to see Pantheon, such an aggressive early champ, if this top jungle 2v2 can really push past how much of a name Bot God has already made for himself.
We will definitely have to see how that plays out. One thing to keep in mind, Shen tends to do really, really well in coordinated environments and less well when it comes to solo queue. The shield is pretty significant, but in terms of the impact he has, Stand United is really, really effective when you're able to communicate with your Malzahar, with your Kindred, saying, hey, yeah, we're just diving bot as 5 people, 6 minutes, let's go. We do have until I think it's about 20 seconds before it's locked in. I still 95% sure it's Galio mid.
If they put the Galio bot, then I'm gonna be a little bit worried. I don't know what the Galio does as he's getting just like rained from far away with the W's.
Either way, Galio's not happy.
Yeah, that's fair.
We'll have to see how that plays out. There's definitely the potential, because Galio does have the Winds of War. That's a pretty easy way to pop Malzahar's Spell Shield, which could lead into Pantheon W just for follow-up CC. Galio gets EW in, and all of a sudden, Malzahar just gets popped. There's the chance for that to happen, right? I don't expect to see that too much. I want to see a lot of this focus from Pantheon up towards the top half, get this Darius snowballing, and it will feel really, really good for Abyssal Emerald.
Absolutely. On the flip side of that, Pantheon could also potentially look bot, because we said that these are both going to be lanes that have the potential to poke each other out, but as soon as one of those lanes gets ahead, then all of a sudden the other one is going to have a very, very not so fun time. Because as soon as that poke starts getting some gold and that poke starts becoming more meaningful and sticking for longer, then you can get shoved in, you can start getting plates, and that becomes another potential win condition for the side of Abyssal. But on the other side of the Rift, Fallen, you just have to survive. You heavily outscale. I don't see any way that a Kindred with a Lulu protecting her, this Kindred, even if Kindred gets off to a slow start, I don't see any way that Kindred in the late game team fights, when she has a couple of those marks, when she has that bonus range, I don't see how you can win the late game team fights. So it's all going to be decided on, can Abyssal Emerald win the game before Falling gets there.
Yeah, and now that you mention it, I'm curious to see if we're going to see an Imperial Mandate Ashe. It's been played around with a lot. It did get nerfed pretty heavily last patch or the patch before, can't quite remember, but it's still something that could be effective when you pair it alongside something that's saying, hey, I'm Ashe, I'm just utility this game. Kindred is the damage carry of this team. Might not be the worst idea to see it come out.
Yeah, and also, for the Kindred, she has so much protecting her. Stand United Shield from wherever top baller decides to be, wherever it's best to have him be on the map. Malzahar, whoever does get strong, whether it be Jason, whether it be the Pantheon, a Malzahar ult is going to be waiting for whichever one of them gets fed. And if the rest of the team is strong enough that having one fed member 100 to 0 because the entire team just unloaded on him after a Malzahar ult, then all of a sudden Abyssal Emerald is feeling really good. But the question is, how do you get there, right? Because if you're putting all your eggs in one basket, then as soon as Malzahar can take them out of the picture, Kindred has a field day.
The counterplay is 1,300 gold of an item. Looking at a QSS, builds into a lot of items now. Feels really, really good. Feels really bad for Malzahar players. But as I was thinking that, I also remembered that there's this other thing in the game. My personal permaban in solo queue is Lulu, because Polymorph is absolutely disgusting. It's like Malzahar ult, except you can kind of waddle around as a snowman for a little bit.
You would be a little bit cuter than you're getting depressed.
So we'll have to see. Even if you get two members fed, there's the chance for the Malzahar into the Lulu poly on both of them, and now they're both useless. If it's just one person, and even if they have a QSS, you see Malzahar R, QSS, and then Lulu poly. And it really depends on how the execution comes out from the Fallen University in order to see, how effective these two picks will be.
Absolutely. I'm very excited to see. There's a lot of names that are new. Again, these two orgs completely new to ZGG, and a lot of people that want to make their name here. A lot of people that want to build a reputation and going against some other competition who want to do the exact same thing. A bunch of new faces that want to make themselves a name in the ZGG community. This is exactly where you can do it.
Yeah, definitely really excited to see how this one plays out. We are finally on the Rift here to see the Fallen University take on Abyssal Emerald. I'm so glad to be back casting, man.
Oh yeah, it feels good. And it feels good to do it on a game like this because there's very few expectations. There's a lot that's waiting to be proved that we don't really know too much about yet. And I'm excited to see who can come out of the gate strong.
Yeah, just looks like some standard 5 pointing. Lulu channeling a reset, canceling, channel a reset, cancel. Yeah, I'm not expecting too much aggression here early. Darius gets an auto. Cool.
Got him.
Winning lane. Man, if only he had Spell Thieves. Yeah.
Yeah. So one important thing to note. So there are 4 teleports, both the tops and mids of both teams do have them, but Xiphis with the cleanse.
Huh.
I'm very interested by this. I like this a lot. I think the scariest part of this bot lane is the potential to get CC chained. As soon as Galio comes down, as soon as Pantheon comes down, the charm from Yami into either a Pantheon stun or a Galio taunt can be devastating. So taking a little bit of respect, saying, I know this is a potential way for me to die, and I want to make sure that that's not a possibility. So just taking it off the table, going safe with the cleanse.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of CC chain that relies on one long range thing to hit, right? But we'll see. I do think the cleanse is a safer pickup for this lane. I don't expect too much kill threat to happen outside of anything CC related. Worth noting, Malzahar still is Malzahar. Can't really push out until he hits level 2, level 3-ish. So does lose that early prio, but doesn't seem like there's going to be anything as a result.
Absolutely. And as we check out where the junglers are going, it looks like Kindred has full cleared the top side, now looking toward the bot side. We'll see if she's going to get spotted on that ward. Not sure if she will, but we'll see when she starts her Raptors if she is. But on the other side, it looks like Pantheon's going to be looking potentially for an early gank onto the Shen, or he could be just walking down. But no, he is trying to look here. He's on a ward, but Shen greeting for the cannon, and he's going to get stunned up. That's going to be a lot of damage. Immediately having to burn the flash. That's going to be a successful gank. Oh, in the mid lane, that's going to be a taunt. Shouldn't be too much, but the Kindred is here.
Oh no.
Not able to get too much.
Okay. I'm a little intrigued as to having Pantheon full clear topside. I guess he did want the level 3, try to negate some damage coming out, but mid lane again.
That's going to be a lot of CC. That's going to be a lot of damage. He's going to have to flash away. Unable to finish off the kill, but it looks like so far the solo lanes of Abyssal are here to prove something.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd see too much solo kill threat in mid lane, but only Magical Girls is shutting me up right away. Getting a lot of good advantages.
Only Magic Girls was their missing piece from week 1 when they took that 2-0 loss. It was due to the fact that Jason KB23 was playing in the mid lane with a top laner who didn't look all that amazing. Now Jason KB flexing in the top lane already, and it looks like their mid laner here to do just the same.
Yeah, it's definitely a good look for only Magical Girls being able to basically solo force Mal's double sums, even with Kindred showing mid at one point. Obviously, Kindred was just there to relieve a little bit of pressure, but yeah, this is a very good look for Abyssal solo lane so far this game.
Absolutely. Now, I know we're only 4 minutes, 45 seconds into the game, but the CS differentials are already starting to be incredibly terrifying. Darius 32 CS to 13. Yeah. And that's not with Darius having a stacked wave. That is with Shen pushing right now. So Darius is waiting for more farm. And on the bot side as well, it looks like a small CS discrepancy is starting to lead up. We'll see if hopefully a good amount of that should be evened out when this wave pushes in. But Darius looking absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, Darius now understands that's a flashless enemy top laner. He's allowed to have his way in that lane. I feel bad for top baller. That's not fun for anyone to play.
Absolutely. Ooh, the E is going to actually be pretty big. The 5 stacks are here now. The Q is going to do so much damage. He flashes through first blood to the Darius. Jason KB wants you to know his name.
And the chicken over here feeling pretty good goes, yep, got that one flash early, and that's why we got that first blood. Very big solo kill for Jason KB in the top side. And Shen losing so much off of that will be forced to burn that teleport. Mid lane again, though.
Ooh. Oh, there's going to be a ton of damage back. Oh, the flash forward. Is it enough?
Oh.
No, it's barely not. Only magical girls getting out by the skin on their teeth. Holy.
Yeah, that's still the power of Malzahar. That Nether Grasp does refresh the Malefic Visions. It still does that % max health damage underneath you. It's a lot. It's still scary for a Galio. The root onto
big move on the
Lulu.
bot side. That's going to be the trap as well. That's going to be Cyberyami getting the kill.
Ooh.
Now, Grimlobo flashing forward, not able to get anything else. But that is going to be 2-0 so far for Abyssal.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Grimlobo expected Lulu wouldn't have been CC'd for that long. Would have expected to see the flash come out and was just preemptively flash following, but...
I have to interrupt. Did Jason KB23 just walk away from topside to help with the Drake?
He reset, because he had a phage at the Drake, so he reset and walked to the Drake and is now teleporting topside.
Especially considering there was no contest on the Drake, a little bit questionable. I think going topside and then TPing if they need you is definitely the more conservative play. Maybe not even needing to lose that TP. And it actually gives a window for Shen to catch up a good amount in CS. So not quite too confident in that play, but still Darius is more than strong enough to not really care. And he's gonna push in that wave.
The concern with that I have, though, is you still have that stand united point, so now Darius won't be able to match the global pressure of the Shen. We'll have to see if that's gonna be abused with that teleport cooldown being down for Darius, but as of right now, this does seem like a potential window for the Fallen University.
Absolutely. Also, it is important to note that when you are the carry in a Shen versus carry matchup, sometimes it is more beneficial for you to stay up, especially since we are only 8 minutes in. There still are turret plates available to be farmed, but very interesting to note that you're right. As soon as a fight breaks out that's not topside, Darius will not be able to match the Shen.
Yeah, I mean, Darius will still be able to generate a larger lead if nothing comes of that stand united. Tower plates still give a lot of gold, but we do see the Herald take here on the top half of the map, which I'm expecting will lead into top invade actually. Watch out, bot god.
Does he know about it? He has no idea. He is sitting on a ward. He's gonna flash away instantly. There's gonna be what should be a safe blue buff steal.
Oh my lord.
My god.
That's unfortunate.
Bot god takes those. Bot god takes those.
I don't think the chicken had flash, or smite rather, so unfortunate.
Oh, that's gonna be the charm on the bot side. Immediately cleansed. That's why we took the summoner. Cleanse flash away to make sure that bot lane couldn't get another kill.
That flash felt a little bit like a panic flash, but
100%.
I guess we're playing it safe. Ash understands her role this game. Don't die. That is all you have to do.
And it looks like on the top side, Kindred, with Pantheon currently taking his red out from under his nose, Bakad gets the mark on his chickens. And that's going to be a Kindred's second mark. That's pretty funny. And now Bakad going straight down to the bot side. We'll see if he's actually looking to get into the bot side.
Something to take note of, the first Grand Starfall used Top side doesn't get anything for it. This looks like they're going to try to push in, take some tower plates, get Darius a favorable reset, but that first Pantheon R, you want that to land. You want to transition that into a kill. Little unfortunate he wasn't able to do so.
They do have the rift, though, so this should potentially be the full tower. I know they still have 3 plates, but with both of them here, I don't think Shen should feel safe to come in at all. Instead, he taunts in.
My.
I guess he's proving me wrong. He's going to get stunned up. He's going to get flashed out, and that's going to be... Oh, Jason KB
no.
not realizing full power. And now Galio coming in a little bit too late, trying to at least confirm the counter kill. He gets the taunt. Only Magical Ghost getting that. And the tower should still be theirs, but at an unfortunate cost that was maybe a bit unnecessary.
Oh my lord, there's no way. He saved the tower too, it looks like.
What a disappointing turn of events for Abyssal, who had a good look before then, but overestimating his strength was Jason KB, and costing not only his own life, but the tower still standing in the top side.
Yeah, and now I'm looking at this. Another thing to take note of, Kindred just took away the entire bot side jungle of the Pantheon here, so already
Galio's going to get a big
advantages.
taunt on him. He's going to go so much HP. That's going to be Shen going to be coming down to try and keep her alive, but Kindred just got 100 to 10% in one Galio combo. That's what getting one kill's worth of gold does for only magical girls.
I'm assuming it's Proto Belt, but I really am hoping it's Night Harvester Galio. That sounds absolutely hilarious. It won't be. It's like almost certainly going to be Proto Belt, but they build out of the same thing, so we don't really know.
Disappointingly, Shen decides to stay and farm away with mid lane instead of rotating back up to protect his tower, and it ends up going down. So despite that misplay in the top side, Abyssal still getting the top tower eventually, although it's not as they expected, and Jason KB getting that plate, that final plate under his belt as well.
Yeah, and this is the issue now that I have with something like Pantheon. He is 0-0-1 right now. He's going to be struggling to find his mark in the rest of this game. He does tend to fall off pretty hard, and he's not been able to get a ton of advantages thus far. Kindred almost just under double his CS, got the second Drake of the game, first for their team, and has been just denying as many camps as she possibly can from this Pantheon. It's going to feel pretty bad for the chicken going forward.
Yeah, 100%. And also, interesting to note, it was originally a 10 to about 30 CS difference in the top side, and now evening that out, keeping it, making sure that it does not go any farther. And in the jungle, the exact opposite happened. Kindred was able to completely run over, take the advantages whenever Pantheon was being shown on the map. And now what was originally supposed to be Kindred versus Darius, these two carries that both got strong, Darius now not getting as much as we could have hoped or we should have seen from what we saw originally. Actually, it's going to be a taunt forward, trying to catch him with the Malzahar. I don't know if you get there. No, I don't think you do. But I like the attempt. Darius is definitely who you want to kill. But while it looks like we have little action, as I say that, okay, no, should be fine. But interesting to note the CS differences. We're just about hitting 14 minutes. Plates should fall any second now, and 20 CS lead for Jason in the top lane. 50, almost a 40 to 50 CS lead for Malzahar in the mid lane. Galio, as soon as you leave lane, Malzahar is going to be able to shove them into tower, and you're going to lose a lot. There's going to be the spear, actually, the suppression is going to be going in. Galio is going to try and come down to save the chicken. The E finally there, and that's going to be the pole, flash pole for the Darius, and that's going to be a kill. Oh, Malzahar still gets the kill. Burn ticking down, and the chicken falls.
Yeah, the chicken just stepping on top of that little pool under the Malzahar ultimate right at the end there. There's the potential for him to live, but very unfortunate. Ends up being a 1-for-1 Pantheon. Get used to that. You're going to be trading your life for stuns probably for the rest of this game.
Absolutely. And Pantheon already so far behind, 72 CS to 117. Bakad, you're walking in a little bit too deep. That's going to be a huge taunt, and now Pantheon's going to be coming down. That's going to be the Kindred ultimate falling. Shen's going to try. Can he get a good taunt? He gets a 3-man taunt. It's immediately out of the Kindred ultimate, and now the Ash Arrow is going to be coming in. They might have been able to completely get out of this without a single casualty. We'll see if Top Baller is able to escape. Now Jason coming up to Bakad, but Bakad definitely the safer of the two. And it looks like a safe defusal. Bakad, what are you doing? He walks into 4. He dies instantly. Bakad, we hyped him up so much, but when it counted, giving his life away.
Yeah, that entire fight started over the Kindred mark at the opposing Raptor camp. Seemed like it was gonna just be the Raptor camp take and then running away. Would have been fine with that. And then all of a sudden, Bakad just walks into the middle of 4 people, ends up getting collapsed on. The Galio taunt barely missing, but you can't miss a point-and-click stun. The chicken gets himself his first kill of the game.
Wow. Definitely not falling to expectations. Bakad, he's doing decently well for himself now that he has the 4th stack, but giving up his life and eventually the Rift Herald for that. I don't know why he pathed that way, but the miscommunication perhaps, or just the poor pathing resulting in the loss of both. And we'll see what this second Rift Herald is able to do. Usually second Rift Herald is much less useful. You're unable to get plates from it. You're only really able to open up the map. So we'll see what the chicken decides to do and where he decides to put that.
Yeah, we do see a teleport coming into this fight, though. It looks like Abyssal Emerald's going to want this.
Ooh, the Seraphine ult is going to completely miss. Able to kite away from that one. And now Jason KB with his second teleport of the game, it doesn't really achieve all that much.
Yeah, you hate to see that happen. The Seraphine are just coming up a little bit short there. Kindred using the Gale Force to get out of that one, but this does leave the mid lane completely exposed now, and Abyssal Emerald trying to capitalize.
Yeah, I'm curious where the Malzahar was for that.
Oh.
But regardless, it results in the loss of his tower.
Well,
oh my god.
It got the charge. I wasn't expecting that to even charge, so that's fine.
I wasn't either.
They pick up the T1 bot side as well, so not the worst.
Looks like instead of defending their mid-tier 1, they decide to try for the Death Bush. It does not prevail, and instead they rotate to take this Drake. Okay.
I was about to say.
If Lulu took that, I'd have to quit the video game. But fortunately for myself and my League of Legends addiction, that's gonna last at least a couple of games longer. And Kindred now getting another mark on the top side. Kindred doing really well with these marks. 5 marks without a kill, which is pretty impressive. Usually when Kindred starts to get marks pretty fast, it's because she's doing a lot of damage in these team fights and she's getting the marks on her ganks. None of that has occurred just by great pathing and by a small lack of awareness from the chicken on where she's going to be invading. Has left Kindred in a pretty good spot, actually.
Yeah, normally you see 0-1-0 Kindred on your team, and you're just like, she's got like 2 marks tops. She's going to be useless going later into this game. Feels pretty good for Bakad here. Still has that range upgrade. Still is fairly strong even for being that 0-1-0. And as we mentioned in draft, you're a scaling champ. Your job is to be the later carry for this team. Being 0-1-0 at 20 minutes, you feel like you're doing fine.
Yeah. And take a little bit of an inventory on what else everybody has. Bakad is on pace with what Caitlyn has. He's also, funnily enough, almost on pace for Caitlyn's farm. So, Bakad definitely doing some work in terms of his pathing to be as efficient as possible compared to his opposition. And looks like everyone should be done with their mythic items except for the Lulu. Brandon needs help. Still waiting to complete that. He does have the Bandaglass mirror in inventory, but has yet to be able to complete that.
Yeah, one might say he needs a little help finishing up. I'm sorry.
I knew you needed to, but I was just.
You were not stalling long enough for that. Yeah. Cool. We're gonna ignore that. That never happened. So, I'm expecting to see this Ash die. Never mind. Flash burn.
Chicken and Jason going through the jungle. Check out the vision in the topside jungle for the side of Abyssal. They have so many wards up here. It's, despite not being too far ahead, actually being only about 600 gold ahead. They have basically made this themselves. Oh, man, Charm is going to be huge, but that's a lot of damage with the suppression coming down. That's going to be for sure a kill onto Seraphine. Now Galio coming in to save his AD carry, and he does so. But that is a successful pick against Abyssal for the side of Fallen.
Now, this goes back to something, I thought I mentioned it, and I'm pretty sure I didn't, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get flamed for this, but I would recommend most AD carries run the cleanse against Ashe for that exact reason right there. You get caught by a single arrow, and all of a sudden, you're just going to get popped. Caitlyn not able to stay alive through that, or was able to stay alive, but Seraphine having to pay the price as a response.
Bakad trying to get this over the wall.
Oh, okay.
There is able to get that. Thankfully, I again probably quit if he was able to do that. But as we slow down a little bit, there's a minute 30 left till this Infernal Drake spawns, and the gold is just about even. There's about 100 gold difference between these two teams, so it's interesting to see exactly where that gold is being placed.
Yeah.
On the side of Abyssal, it seems like their top laner having the Bramble in his inventory, as well as his Gore Drinker, he's going to be a strong force to be reckoned with. And Kindred, of course, with what looks like a 50 farm lead in the jungle.
Yeah, almost 60 now. Oh my.
She's out farming her solo lane in the top side.
Yeah. Yep.
Is even in CS with the opposing enemy's AD carry.
Yeah. Yep. This checks out pretty well. Also, just looking at it, Malzahar doing very, very well in the mid lane matchup. Not quite at that item break point. I'm expecting to see the Demonic Helm come out next. Just more dots on top of dots, because 4% of your max health going away every second is really fun.
Have a dot for your dot, so
yeah,
you can dot more.
Exactly. We should see, I'm assuming this will be a contest at the Drake fight, potentially with Darius teleporting, but it looks like they're actually just backing away. Yeah,
they're content to let Jason get some farm and potentially the tower in the top side. They do have, before that, a Drake advantage that was 2-1.
Yeah.
So they're fine giving it up to just make it 2-2. And actually, Jason is able to force out a TP for that. So I think generally pretty favorable and definitely an acceptable trade for the side of Fallen University.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure that teleport was necessary, but Lulu. Oh, hawk shot. That's no fun.
There was a potential for something spicy, but spotted out. We'll see if, with everybody but the Shen, who has Stand United, grouped up here, we'll see if there is going to be an engagement. I'm not sure if you want that, and the Seraphine ult again missing, and now Bakad gets his opportunity to jump forward, getting out the flash and the Galio ultimate. Now it's going to be a stun, it's going to be the pullback, the suppression is going to be coming down, Kindred ultimate going to be used, and that's going to be Shen coming down as well. Bakad barely gets out, and now they're kiting back. Shen with the taunt! That's massive! And that's going to be 2 kills immediately taken back. And Top Baller is going to be trying to find the rest of the team. He's flashing forward, he got the taunt! He's going to be getting Cyber Angel Yami down, and it's going to be 3-0 for the side of Fallen University, and now they're going to be rotating straight to Baron.
Yeah, I was a little interested to see the Shen ultimate coming through onto the Lulu, but ultimately it does result in another 3 kills going over to this side of the Fallen University. And we mentioned Abyssal, you guys needed to get an advantage, needed to push it and end early. It's gonna be very difficult to come back from this deficit now.
Absolutely. Really well done in that fight. There was a lot of small micro details that were so important. Kiting back the Darius with the flash pull after the Pantheon stun. So much had to be done to keep everybody alive, and a lot of props to Top Baller and Brandon needs help. Keeping everybody alive was a tall task, but obviously doing so paid dividends, and now with a Baron power play on the table for them.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult. Quite an uphill battle, it feels like, coming out for Abyssal Emerald here. I'm trying to think of how they turn this one around. That fight looked like it could have been good. The Kindred are saving a lot of the damage from Malzahar's ultimate on the side of Abyssal, and it seemed very, very close, and then all of a sudden, everyone just blows up. Caitlyn's magically in the front line now. I don't even think she ended up there in a bad way, if that makes sense. Like, she wasn't trying to frontline, right? Just ended up getting turned on, getting CC'd down. So we'll have to see if that's a trend that continues through the rest of this game. Who do you pick?
Yeah, I think it's a battle of attrition. Basically, whoever goes in second is someone who's going to win. Hold that thought. Bakad might be a little bit overzealous. He's going to take so much damage. The stun's going to come down and shut down Galio, who's now 3-0-1. You know, Bakad giving away the gold and taking down a Baron as well. The suppression on the other side. Oh, instantly falling down. You hate to see it, or you love to see it. I don't, but that's going to be immediately traded. And now with 4 people alive and the Baron, looks like they're going to be pushing down the mid lane.
I was about to say, too, I don't know who you pick if you're Abyssal to try and burst down. Kindred just gives them a kill. Feels like it's going to go really well. And then Seraphine face checks the Mels.
Going to go down. He's going to flash stun onto Ziphis, but the cleanse used it so perfectly. Now going to be exhausted up. Can't get anything more. He's actually going to be pushed back pretty hard. Ziphis goes all the way from 100 to 0. That must feel bad, Pantheon. You're a caster minion at this point. He falls. That's going to be 1 in 3 for the Chicken 28.
Yeah, caster minion with a stun. We mentioned this earlier on. Your job as later game Pantheon is more than likely just going to be to stun somebody and hope for the best. We'll have to see. I really want to see these Seraphine ults do a little more work, and
I guess we saw nothing.
Yeah, it did hit Mal's, but Mal's does have that spell shield, so did not get charmed up. Seraphinars do have that potential to turn a game on its head, so I want to see if Cyberangel Yemi is going to be able to utilize that ability in these later team fights to really turn this game around for them.
Absolutely, and with the dragon just spawning now, and only 2 ultimates in the pocket of Abyssal, Fallen should get it for absolutely free. There it is. And that means that they are on the verge of getting an Infernal Soul to help close out this game.
Yeah, if Fallen University is able to pick up Infernal Soul, it's going to be really difficult. You're basically going to be playing for Elder if you're on Abyssal's side there, so we'll have to see. Yeah. But Kindred, Malzahar, Ashe with Infernal Soul is really, really gross.
Yeah, especially Malzahar with that damage over time.
Yes,
and the fact that it spreads, it's just a 1-button penta at that point.
Oh, man.
Hopefully, don't see that. You seem to be a Malzahar lover, but I'm not. So hopefully, I don't see that atrocity. But I'm not really sure what you do for the side of Abyssal. What I was gonna say before it happened was catch Kindred getting overly aggressive for one of her marks. And then it happened, and they lost anyway.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
I guess you hope she does it again, and then play the preceding fight better.
What happened realistically was 1 pick on the Kindred, 1 pick on the Seraphine, but losing a decent chunk of your CC and sustain and shielding in a fight for one of the 3 damage carries on the enemy team isn't necessarily a great trade just in general. And I think you just need to be playing a little bit safer as the Seraphine at this point in the game. You can't be the one face checking.
And if you are going to be that far ahead of your team, you really gotta hope you hit a fat ultimate.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have yet to see that, so just been giving her life for very little in return. But we'll see. There are still the pieces to have a successful team fight. Okay, Grim Lobo gonna take a quarter HP from what, 2 hits?
Yeah, that was what,
I don't even think
for Kindred?
Yeah, I don't even think his press the attack was triggered.
Oh.
That's gross. Jason gonna be trying to look for something. Unable to find anyone, and now finally getting priority in the mid lane. 15 seconds until Baron spawns. So good timing to try, but Shen is in the top lane, and they are gonna have to send people there.
Yeah, and just looking forward to the next game here, I would really...
Pantheon gonna be ulting to try and cut off the top laner, but oh no, it doesn't work like that. Now, Gallo gonna be trying his best. He's gonna Protobell E to get as close as possible, but he's not close enough. You have Flash, you can use that, but the Ash Arrow is gonna be landing. It's gonna be the Seraphine ult hitting only one again, and it's gonna be the suppression shutdown for the Kindred. That's gonna be 2, and down goes the entire team of Abyssal. There's very little left to actually fight them on this. The Galio being one of their strongest pieces in the moment, and the Fallen University have free reign to take this Baron, except for the possibility of the chicken steal when he's on a 3-level disadvantage.
Yeah, and even, well, the Kindred doesn't have R, so I'll remove that point. There is always the potential, if a Kindred has R, to just keep the Baron alive, waste the enemy jungler's smite, secure it after. Really, really fun. Kindred players love that.
Kindred going aggressive again. Flash! There's going to be the Flash E. So much damage, he's going to be taken down. That's a dunk for Jason KB23. And I guess third time's the charm for inting for marks. Maybe this is going to be the one that actually keeps Abyssal in this game. But again, look at the rest of the team. So everyone is strong. The Kindred, they hyped the Kindred up so much, but 1 in 3, the rest of his team is popping off around him.
Yeah, it definitely feels like for a team that seems built for a Kindred carry, Ash Mal's is really putting in the heavy lifting. We do have this Drake spawning in just another minute, and it looks like Abyssal's going to be trying to contest it. Makes sense with it being that sole point for Fallen University, but this vision control definitely in the favor of blue side. Yeah.
Yami's sitting on a ward the entire time she was waiting, hoping that someone was to come. But I do like that with 25 seconds left, they are the ones that are getting control of the river. But really, we gotta start hitting these ultimates. It's such an incredibly useful tool when you hit it, but with the most important Drake of the game spawning, to not have that tool is a big deficit.
Yeah, especially with it being the strongest.
Yep, it's going to be a good look onto Kindred, but unable to find anything. In the meantime, Chicken's going to go down to a quarter HP. The Kindred actually going to be looking to have a lot of trouble, but Top Baller on the other side, that's an Ash Arrow going to be doing so much. Galio going to be coming down. Top Baller is on a killing spree. And now Ash doing so much work. Kindred's able to stay alive on the backside, and Jason needs, oh, you are too far. It's going to be the kill, and just for the sake of blue buffs, the blue buff as well, and the Infernal Drake definitely going to be going down here, and if it wasn't already, that should be the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, the only way I can see this being salvaged for Abyssal, somehow this game stalls the Elder, somehow they secure the Elder, and somehow Seraphine lands that 5-man ultimate. Darius gets resets all day long, and random Darius Penta. That's about it.
Yeah, to be honest, I'd be genuinely upset. Oh, good. That was a pretty good look. But I'd be genuinely upset if the Fallen wasn't able to close within this. They still have the Baron buff. They have the Infernal Soul now. The Chicken was burning to a quarter HP without this. And now the Infernal is going to be triggering it as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be re-amping the damage. I see. I mean, we called him a caster minion before. I don't even know what's lower than that, but that's what this Pantheon. That's the Chicken's Pantheon currently. Ooh, the Flash taunt, not gonna be doing anything, and then the charm, 3-man charm. That's what they needed. That was gonna be a big root. The suppression going down, but it's doing so little. Now only Magical Girl's pulling at the stopwatch is going to be ace in the hole, not even landing. Now only Magical going to fall down. Kindred finally being popped. Only Magical on so little HP. This is a double kill for Malzahar. Kindred getting one of her own, double for her as well. And now the triple kill for Kindred to seal the deal. And that's going to be the delayed ace for the Fallen University.
Yeah, try as they might, that looked like the fight for Abyssal Emerald to try and come back into this one, but this will be game one, going over to the Fallen University. Very convincing performance once we got to that mid-late stage in the game.
Absolutely, and really a great showing for the Fallen because of who was doing so well. Botgod was hyped up so much, and while he didn't have a bad performance by any means, 4-3 and 6 at the end of the day, it was really young Rich Boy. We saw performing well last week, but Zivis was the name we haven't mentioned yet, who did a really, really good job cutting back so effectively every time that they looked for an all-in on the side of Abyssal, able to kite, and a lot of that because of the Ashe doing so much work, applying so many slows and doing so much damage along the way.
Yes, Zivis definitely felt a little bit like an unsung hero this game. Towards the later stages, definitely was showing their true colors with the damage output, but man, that was just disgusting. Very good performance coming out from Fallen, and even with Botgod starting this game, what was it, 0-3, 1-3, I think it was, still doing the second most damage on his team.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Still, I mean, we saw it. The one crit onto Caitlyn from, like, yeah, that was just, oh, man.
And damage charts be damned. Malzahar is the king.
Yeah.
Young Rich Boy, I mean, we saw it coming. He was making Pantheon paper and absolutely shredding him. But I'm hoping to see a better comeback for Abyssal. The draft was so focused on the early game, and if you're unable to get anything done in the early game, that's exactly the game you'll expect. So I'd like to see maybe a different approach in draft. If you want Jason to be your carry in the top lane, you want to get him fed, then have some more late game assurance around the rest of your map would be something that looks needed in case he dies in a tower dive and gives away a good amount of that lead that he had.
Yeah, definitely felt like they got the early advantages. They just weren't able to transition them quite well enough. And the players I'm really looking at to step up for the next one, Cyber and Juliami, those Seraphinars need to be on point. You saw how close that last fight was, even from how far behind you guys were. If you land those earlier on, that game could be completely different. Some of them just barely missing by a hair, and that man, I feel that feels really, really bad when that happens. In terms of drafts, the only thing I can think of is maybe looking to get rid of the Shen. The global pressure is often very difficult to deal with, and it seemed like there was a little bit of a pressure sink coming from it. But
my only argument against that would be you dealt with the Shen decently well. He had a lot of really high impact ultimates. But if you just use your teleports more conservatively, use them to make sure that you use them in not only in an important way, but in a game-changing way every single time you use your TP. Otherwise, you don't use it, because some of the TPs felt super unnecessary, and when you are going to be sort of banking on them to get you an advantage in the early game, they have to find a lot more success.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. And with something like Lulu as well, just buffing up a team, once you get ahead and you have a Lulu, those games feel so unwinnable to play against. Another reason I permaban that champion in solo queue to tie it all back.
Absolutely. I think seeing what Cyber Juliami could do in the game 2, I think with those ults landing making a big difference, I think this has the potential to be a very competitive series. But we'll see what they are going to be preparing for game 2. In the meantime, we're going to have a quick break. Stay tuned. Hello, everybody. We are back with Game 2, straight into draft phase. It looks like a lot is going to be pretty similar. The Fallen Universe is going to be taking off Olaf and Alistar, Abyssal Emerald, keeping that Anivia, but respecting the Shen from last game, and then also taking off the Syndra like we saw in Game 1.
Yeah, so definitely sounds like, or seems like they listened to my advice a little bit. Shen definitely notorious for... Okay, I wasn't ready for this. It was banned away in Game 1. Sorry, I had a point, and then I saw Nunu, so big snowball time.
We love to see that. I'm interested, again, in Game 1. The Pantheon didn't look amazing, so I like this change of pace. We'll see if he'll be able to find some more success on the Nunu to help out his lanes. But the Fallen University going to stick with what works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Locking in the Kindred again. That's going to be the third game that Bakad has had within 2 series.
Yeah, Kindred as well. Into Nunu, it's okay. The thing that Nunu does really well, he can secure jungle camps. He does have that consume. Kindred presses R, Nunu can wait like a half second and press R right after, and then all of a sudden Kindred R goes off and everyone still dies because Absolute Zero does a ton of damage.
Absolutely.
But Alawi just like that, blind for top baller.
Yeah, so what I see already, as it's being confirmed even more by the Leona pick, is 2 very distinct identities as...
No way!
Whatever I said means nothing. The first Diego,
Man.
at least on stream for IBS, interesting and unsure of where it goes. Top or mid is definitely the expected, but I doubt that Nunu's not jungle, so Diego not going to be in his main role. But it looks like Fallen... Again, it ain't broke, don't fix it.
So, Nunu mid was played for a bit. Faker loved the pick, so the small chance. This was like old item, so I'm going to throw it away.
I
swear to God. I still want Seraphine mid last game. Anyway, man, Viego really... I came in here today, I was like, yeah, we're going to cast some League of Legends. I played 1 game of Viego earlier, only game I played of him. Oh boy. I'm expecting it to be top. He does awful in the ranged matchups. There is the chance that he wants to lane against Mel's for some reason, but I highly doubt that that will be the case. And with Leona, Nunu, Viego, I'm seeing the outline of a teamfight comp right now.
Absolutely. Now, 2 points that are completely unrelated to this draft, however spicy it may be. I just want to make sure that I hit on these before I forget them. Abyssal Emerald Game 1 and Game 2, their AD carry was a substitute. T1's forehead not here for tonight's games and going to be subbed in by Grim Lobo, who played a decent game in game 1, but definitely would like to see a little bit of an improvement for Xiphus. It's not Xiphus, but regardless, Xiphus was popping off in game 1, and I hope to see him do it again. All right, but back into picks.
Oh boy.
Fallen gonna go straight back to the Ashe. The AD carry pool being pinched pretty heavily with Aphelios, Twitch, and Kaisa all off the table in round 2.
I'm a little curious now. I see that Ashe seemed problematic to me. So you ban Twitch Aphelios. I see that there's a lot of priority on those 2 champs for Xiphus in that AD carry position. But leaving up the Ashe that was so detrimental to your team last game feels a little odd, and then counterpicking yourself with the Caitlyn into it in addition. There is still the support available as well. If this is a Morgana, this bot lane doesn't seem like it can do anything for Abyssal.
So here's my problem with this draft. We'll see if anything changes with the final pick, but Fallen University...
or it's Rel.
Even more so with the Rel. We'll see if it gets locked in, but even more so with the Rel if they do decide to pick it, really, really wants you to come to them.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Kindred, come into my Kindred ult, come into my Alawi. As you're coming in, you're gonna come in slow from Ashe, and as soon as you're there, you'll be yanked in by the Rel and suppressed by the Malzahar. And Abyssal's answer to that has been, okay, bet.
Yeah.
Their answer to it has been, if we can just kill you fast enough, then it doesn't matter that we're doing what you want, because we're just gonna be too far ahead. Because if the Nunu Leona can jump in there and stun them up long enough, survive long enough, that the Rumble ult carpeted across the floor, the Caitlyn getting headshots, and the Viego, who I'd expect best bet would be Alawi Kindred. He has actually a lot of options, all of them helping his team fight. So interesting to see the 2 completely different styles, and I'm not too confident in Abyssal Emerald despite the spicy Viego pick, which looks like, again, can be both top and mid still. We'll see if the Rumble is going to be flexed top or mid, but they're just they're playing into Fallen's hand, basically. But they're saying, we know that, and we're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, we should be getting into the client draft here momentarily. I'm interested to see how this Rumble pick plays out as well. It was banned away in game 1. And it's definitely a pick that seems like it could do very well into the likes of Kindred, Malzahar, Ashe, Rel, something where you can start a fight from a long range away. It's non-committal CC or non-committal engage, and could be very detrimental to the side of the Fallen University.
Absolutely. We'll see. I'm very curious if we're going to be seeing the same in terms of summoner spells. We'll have to wait till we're in game, but Ashe decided to play very, very safe last game into was probably the less scary matchup. I feel like Leona CC has a lot more potential, partly because Seraphine's CC has to land. But even if it does, I feel like the Leona CC is going to be so much, so I expect Ashe to probably be taking that again. But we'll see if she decides to get a little more aggressive in this team comp.
So I did mention this during the second ban phase. This was more than likely going to be Viego top with that Malzahar having been locked in. What I forgot to recognize was that that's also Malzahar or Rumble mid, which does notably very well against control mages, things like Orianna, things like Anivia, things like Malzahar. So I'm very interested to see how Only Magical Girls will be able to pull this pick out. It can do really, really dirty things into a Malzahar lane. Can easily get some priority, can easily start transitioning and stay alive.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to check alt, but the only thing that surprised me is that I don't think there's a single game in record of Young Rich Boy playing the Rumble.
Young Rich Boy's on Malzahar.
Oh, okay. So I'm looking at the
So,
wrong OP. Thank
yeah.
God. I was like, is this really a first time? Okay. So
There's
hopefully
also always
that's
the
good.
chance that you do things in scrims. I know for like a team I play for example, you don't see Aurelia in my match history anywhere, but it's always there. It's always pocketed. So like, there's the chance that there's those team only picks. We'll see how this plays out though. This does look pretty much like a straight up team fight comp though for the side of Abyssal Emerald. And if there's a comp that I think, based off of how they played last game, they can win with, it would be this.
Absolutely. I think by looking at the wrong OP, I had more confidence in the Rumble pick. Right. Because I have found that in the entire season last year, a 38% win rate on the pick in the mid lane. We'll see if that's a little bit stronger in the 5 setting, as I expect it should be, while communicating with your jungler. But just a little bit weary on,
Yeah.
on the Rumble mid.
I mean, hey man, maybe I just want to see Rumble jungle Nunu mid again. Like that could happen. I'm not gonna push that this game. I'm interested to see the Viego Alawi matchup though. This is one that as I've said, I haven't seen a ton of Viego play. I believe we saw him actually in Gold League this past Thursday. That's the only time I've actually seen him played outside of the one game I played him earlier today. Man, I played him in a Heimerdinger. That felt awful. But Alawi is not
That sounds
Heimerdinger.
terrible.
Alawi is very much so not Heimerdinger. This lane might be amazing for Viego. I have no idea. Very interested to see how that plays out. We already touched upon the Nunu and Kindred interactions throughout the early draft phase after those were picked. This bot lane, I feel like, is very volatile. I don't think it's necessarily set in stone one way, but whoever gets a lead is going to continue having a lead in that lane.
Absolutely. I think it's very similar to last game that you have so many trigger pulls on both sides. Leona more obviously with the Zenith Blade and with the ultimate, but Rel paired with Ashe has just as much, if not more, ways to pull the trigger
Yeah.
and start an engagement if they're confident that they can win it. So I totally agree. I think the bot lane, once there's an established advantage, I hope that the bot lane with it decides to run away with it.
Well, and looking at our spectator client, Grim Lobo has learned their lesson from game 1, is going to be running the cleanse going into game 2. Makes sense here against a lot of CC in that bot lane, and I think that one Ashe arrow that happened in mid lane, he's just like, I don't want that to happen again. We're running cleanse.
Absolutely.
It's going to feel so much better.
Fool me once.
Shame on me. Yep.
Grim Lobo, not ready to be shamed on him. He's going to be taking it. I very much agree with the decision, and arguably I would like to see potentially that more of his teammates do. I think Rumble mid, if anybody from the bot lane roams, can instantly have a lot of trouble. He's such a great pick into these control mages, but Rumble's really historically been decided by the success of your first couple ultimates.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have that magic damage, you don't have that MR, or they don't have that MR yet, and you don't have that magic pen because you didn't get the gold from those first two, you're going to have a lot more trouble. And I would be interested to see if he decides to take one in the mid lane to potentially shore up that weakness.
Yeah, I want to see where the chicken's going to put his focus this game, actually. If you get Viego snowballing, it is a very, very difficult champion to deal with going later and later into the game. Wait, it's snowballing new. So, totally intentional, I promise. Whereas if you look at this, the opposite side lane, bot lane, we were just talking about how whichever lane gets ahead will basically dictate which AD carry is more useful going later. And I say more useful. Ashe will always be useful. The slows are incredible. That ultimate is nuts. So even if you fall behind on the Ashe pick, you're still going to find uses. I think almost abandoning mid lane, as weird as that sounds, might be the play for the chicken this game.
Honestly, I tend to agree. I feel like there's very little that's actually bringing you there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like there's very little reason when there's so much benefit to going literally anywhere else. There's such good snowball potential on the bot side. Obviously, Viego's Viego. Viego Bird, so getting him ahead would be brilliant. So, regardless of where you go, I feel like they all have potential upsides that are better than helping out only Magical Girls.
Yeah, and I'm a little intrigued to see the heal coming out for only Magical Girls in the mid lane. Would expect to see Teleport on Rumble, maybe Ignite, because you're Rumble mid specifically, especially against something like Mal's where you will have that kill threat. We'll have to see. It seems a little interesting.
Just about every other possible summoner spell would probably have a better...
Don't go cleanse.
Reasoning. Heal? Like...
It does give you some move speed, so you can run out of Kindred's like auto attack range. You can run away from Malzahar Q. Like, it does give you a little bit more kiting potential. But if you're looking for kiting potential, I'd almost just say run Ghost, right?
Yeah.
So
unless the chicken decided to not listen to our advice and plans to just sit mid lane, then there's maybe an argument. But well, I guess we'll just have to see.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But seems like standard starts, both starting on the bot side for each of our junglers. We did see that aggressive ward being placed for Bot God right under Yami's feet, but I'm not sure if they'll spot anything out with that ward, but we'll have to keep track. And looks like everything else should be pretty standard.
Huh. I'm interested to see what the jungle pathing's going to be. This definitely looks like Nunu's pathing away from bot side, so to me that signals a lot of top focus for Nunu, especially with going for these Krug second, I'm assuming would be Raptor's third. That generally indicates he's looking towards either a mid gank 3 or just clearing top side, going for top gank level 4. The concern I have is if Kindred shows for that could be a very easy double kill for Kindred, and all of a sudden Botcon is snowballing this game.
Absolutely. Well, it'll be interesting to see. Kindred is outpacing so far in terms of camps finished. So she should be there first. Alawi looks like she's going to be the one pushed up, as Alawis tend to do. So she could be ready and waiting in the wings if Chicken does decide to try a gank up there.
Another thing to note too, I'm interested to see what Viego build we end up getting. I've seen some Gore Drinker, some Stride Breaker, some Kraken Slayer. I think a lot of it is people don't really know what's the best on him at the moment. We'll have to see.
Oh.
Maybe there's some action happening mid. That snowball doesn't do anything.
No, absolutely. It was never going to do anything.
Yeah.
But top baller having to pop Corrupting Pot just to get some mana, Jason KV doing so much damage. That's dumb. Viego doing Viego things, but looks like Nunu winning since the Rumble was able to come so much faster to get this Scuttle Crab.
Yeah, Nunu wins the top crab, but Kindred wins the mark on the bot crab, so...
Yeah, RNG doing a favor. Now Jason could potentially be looking for something? No. Gonna get the E.
Oh, that's
now
unfortunate.
Nunu coming up.
Oh.
He's gonna flash away. A little bit overzealous for top baller.
Yeah.
Considering it was pretty well known that Nunu was up there.
And taking the crab.
Yep. But regardless, that's going to be a summoner gone for top baller and a successful gank for the chicken.
Yeah, I mean, Nunu basically doing exactly what we wanted to so far. Just early advantages topside, get this Viego ahead, get him a lead. We'll have to see. It's still not a fun lane to be playing a melee champ. Alawi is just very, very fun to play against if you play melee characters, I swear. And once she hits that level 6 point, it will be difficult, but
right,
biggest snowball ever.
Snowball not going to be landing, but top baller is still going to get rooted, still going to get stunned. Jason, cutting it just a little bit close, going to get the kill in
no. The pings. Oh no.
But in response, Kindred does get the chicken camp from the chicken, and that is the mark. We'll see, unable to get the mark off of Rumble in the mid lane, but Kindred trying to just speedrun these marks, already got 2 so far. We'll see how she gets her third.
Yeah, and Baka did extremely well getting 4 marks even while being at that 0-1-0 point we mentioned last game, so really want to see if this Kindred pick is just something to be feared from Baka. It left a little bit to be desired off of last game, but I'm not sure if that was just the comp or it just... I want to see more, right? It was hyped up. I want to see more of this Kindred.
It definitely was hyped up. I think a big point of contention with that was just the overaggression for the marks, going just too ham when your laners can't come to help, when you don't have vision of where people are along the map. So if that's tempered just even a little bit, then all of a sudden this Kindred can be absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, a Kindred who knows when to take some marks from the enemy jungle is one that is absolutely terrifying to deal with later on in the game. I think Einstein said that at some point. I don't know, quote some famous person, right? Jason, I don't think you win that.
Ooh, definitely does not win that. And I have to point out the advantages being built in the bot lane. 34 CS to 50, and Rel with this Ashe is having a tough time. Caitlyn has yet to even burn her pop, but hold that thought, Baka's going to be stunning up Jason under tower, or Jason going to be trying to stun, but unable to get out, and that's going to be a very clean dive, very successful, and Baka only burns the flash to do so.
Yeah, and that's now 20 CS lead for Alawi. She has the kill as well, so evening out that stat at the very least. And it's a little interesting to see Grimlow having this CS advantage now in this lane, considering I'm pretty sure it was almost exactly the other way around in the last game with the same 80 carry picks. So I don't know, maybe he also hates Lulu. I'm here for it.
We stand Lulu haters.
Yeah.
A lot of it I do expect to be the support picks. Being paired next to Leona has so much kill pressure. Again, the Seraphine left much to be desired last game, so Leona does exert a lot more pressure, and the same vein, Rel has a lot more specific needs on how to pull trigger. So if that doesn't work out for her, then it could lead to a very big discrepancy, as we're already seeing. Almost a 20 CS lead. Ooh, is it actually going to be the suppression? I don't really know if you're going to get anything from this, but trying to just shove out the mid lane. Not quite sure about that usage.
Okay, well, I see Hextech Alternator, so we're going to play the game that I like to call Night Harvester or Proto Belt. And for Rumble, you can actually get away with either. This game, you might just want Night Harvester, so your R just like pops people, might feel good.
Yeah, I expect it to be that.
Proto Belt's also not bad on Rumble, to be fair. Good little sidestep on that biggest snowball ever. Kind of like a medium snowball, so ability name doesn't quite add up. And top lane, this is what I was mentioning. Playing any melee character into Alawi feels bad. Playing a squishy melee character into Alawi feels absolutely awful.
Absolutely. Now Rumble's going to take his turn of burning the ultimate in lane. This one
fine.
for a better reason, as he he goes to get his reset. But Jason going to be looking aggressive on the top baller. If his jungle arrives, it could be deadly. But Jason get taken down so low so far. Gonna have to E away now. He's Eing back in. The stun's gonna come in. Ultimate going down. There's so much damage. Top baller unable to get anyone, but not sure if that's exactly what the chicken wanted. Silence the flash forward, and Young Rich Boy gonna be getting the kill. Nunu, that's not what you want.
I was initially in my head going, why isn't Nunu responding to this? And then I realized, wait, that's an Alawi. She presses R, she can 1v3. Little weird to see him pull away from the Herald so late and then commit, but ultimately it does result in Young Rich Boy running up, picking up a kill with that Malefic Visions, and now Rumble's kind of sad.
Yeah, Rumble has much to be sad about, as that's gonna be a big gold influx. But it's gonna be Cyber Angel Yemi gonna be stunning up and cleansing out for Zyphus. Now Caitlyn doing a lot of damage. Oh, it's so close, but not enough. The big stun from Brandon, but a lot of damage traded back. I don't know if he gets out of this one. Flashing out now. Ooh, there's no block.
Ooh.
There's no block on the Caitlyn, ace in the hole. And that's going to be the kill. Baka on the top side going to be trying to go for Jason. The flash going to be coming out. So much damage. Ooh, he's 1 or 2 hits away. One more. And the last tower shot going to be needing the ultimate to escape the chicken. But the chicken does not stay.
I feel like you could have just ulted there.
I definitely agree with you. Sitting in that with an ultimate should...
They have no hard CC. They have no way to cancel it.
I think it should have just about always resulted in a counter kill. Maybe he felt like it would only be 1-for-1. I feel like maybe that is worth it, but I don't think there is even a remote possibility of the 1-for-1, unless you really misplay. But either way, not feeling confident enough in the play, and it's going to be a kill in the top lane.
Huh. Well, Bakgod has the inverse of his score last game. Went from 0-1-0 to 1-0-1.
Nice.
That's a much better start for this Kindred, I'll say. And I want to see what Abyssal will do to try and put this game into their favor. They definitely feel like they are on the back foot at the moment. With this Drake spawning in 40 seconds, potentially that's an avenue to look to play towards. The chicken out towards this Herald once more, and man, I don't think you can do anything topside anymore. That's still a post 6 Alawi.
Young Rich Boy potentially walking too far, but the suppression, Bakgod is here to collect it. Oh, the heal is coming in clutch. Oh, Bakgod's still going to finish the off. And now, top baller going to be looking onto Jason. The double Bork doing a good amount, but now ultimate's going to be used. Jason now has to run as Bakgod has arrived.
Okay.
And that's going to be 1 kill again because Nunu decided to go topside.
Yeah, I feel like only Magical Girls got baited in by themselves there. A little unfortunate, to say the least. Kindred just shows up. That's a lot of damage onto the Rumble, and... Oh no.
He recognizes it at the very least, and he's going to be running. Almost gets hit by that, but instead giving up the tower. Trading on the opposite side for Abyssal Emerald is going to be the Drake. So that is their second Drake, which is different than last game when there was a 1-to-1 split for the first 2.
Yeah.
So it does leave them a possible Drake win condition. You do love the Infernal Soul, especially with a Rumble. So we'll see. As the Nunu Snowball coming around, ooh, he's going to be hitting nasty, but I don't know if you want to keep going there, chicken.
Okay.
Taken down well.
Oh, well, this is less okay.
They're just trying to race each other down opposite side lanes, and with a Rift Herald in one side's favor, I don't know exactly how much that's going to work. Oh, Brandon almost able to stop that. And now Rift Herald gets a 3rd charge!
Well, it's only a second. It was...
Oh, you're right. They didn't use it for the...
Yeah, but... That is a very early 1/3 HP tier 3 in the top lane. Pre-plates falling. Yeah, it's almost better that the tower's left standing at this point. Otherwise, that would just be a lot of gold that could be basically perma-frozen. No way to do anything to it. But yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, I really would like to see Nunu stay bot a little more. Ooh, the flash suppression going in. A lot of damage. Kindred has arrived. Now the silence coming in, but Baka doing a lot of damage. Half out himself though. It's gonna result in no deaths as they both decide to pull back. But that is the flash out of Malzahar and the exhaust out of Yemi.
Yeah, small little misplay from Yemi as well there, using that Shield of Daybreak, I think it's called, the Leona Q instantly instead of autoing and then using the Q. Just hit the Malzahar spell shield with a stun. Not ideal. It did lead to a lot more damage down onto the Caitlyn. Everyone walks out just fine, and yeah, contrary to Riot Support's belief, you cannot cleanse Malzahar ultimate. So, unfortunately, the one case where that summoner spell feels a little bad, definitely seemed beneficial for that lane, however.
Absolutely. Now, take a look at the CS's. It's going to be a heavy lead for Alawi, 84 to 110. Again, Bakad doing Bakad things, as he has himself a 40 CS lead in the jungle. And mid laners, actually both solo laners, going to be doing some work. 133 to 106 for the mid lane. And I really think that it's good for them on the side of Fallen University. Actually, hold that thought. Big snowball stun root CC for Bakad, but finally able to come out ultimate. The Nunu ultimate gonna mistime just a little bit, and now Jason KV 23 has arrived and he's shut down. The mouse. There's no CC. Jason's gonna be falling down, and that's gonna be the double kill for the Ashe. Nothing left to stop her, and what looked so good shut down by Malzahar ult in the face of Jason.
Man, if that Viego gets just one right click onto that Mist Wraith, I think they're called. I don't even remember. Those abilities are weird, man. If he does just transform into that Kindred there, potentially that fight can turn around. The Malzahar doesn't come through in time, but unfortunately does not play out as such. Will end up falling, and Fallen feeling in a pretty good spot right now.
Absolutely. What do you think we need to see Abyssal coming back in this game?
I think you definitely need to start just by taking out or baiting out a lot of CC, a lot of this counter engage. Ashe ultimate, Mal's ultimate, Rel, well, all of Rel. Once you get some of these tools down, it becomes much, much easier to start playing your own fights. We do see Night Harvester Rumble. Okay, cool. We were right. Look at that. But...
Let me popping the
Rumble. No, that was so early. This would have been a very good fight to utilize that too. Put the Rumble R right in the pit, lock them all in. That would be really nice, but
that feels really bad.
Yeah.
Fortunately for Jason, getting a lot of farm in the top side, potentially being able to get this tower, Nunu actually walking up to help him. But series of unfortunate events so far.
Mal's teleported to save it, I guess?
Okay. I mean, mission accomplished.
I don't know if that was worth it.
I don't think it was, but there's gonna be a lot of damage. Flashing away, but the auto will follow, and it's gonna be Kindred getting her third kill. Oof, you hate to see it.
Yeah, last game, Kindred didn't look like too much of the problem for Abyssal to deal with, but this time around, Baka saying, "Oh man, you guys gotta respect this pick from me, I swear."
Again, Bakad has more CS than either solo lane on the opposition. That's pretty disgusting.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. Power farming Kindred. Nunu, at least, I will say, the chicken being able to keep pace a little bit better on this Nunu pickup as opposed to the Pantheon from before, who isn't really known for clearing, is just known for really early gank pressure and kills. And one other thing to note, there are some really, really fun interactions you can see in this game. We mentioned last game how Kindred R can basically keep alive Baron, Rift Herald, each Drake, etc. If Nunu tries to consume during that...
Oh, hold on. Cyber Yami going to be going in. I don't know if this is the person you want to go in, as Alawi Tentacles are going to be doing work. The stopwatch is going to be
Alawi's
enough.
dead? No way!
Disgusting. That's going to be a double kill for the Alawi. Now the teleport finishing the channel. Nunu coming back in with the snowball. The bot god is going to be locked up for a second. We'll see if they're able to get on, but waiting alarms of Alawi and bot god can kill. He can do no wrong. The flash forward for Brandon is going to be a stun. The cleanse. Ooh, barely not burning down. Now Jason's going to be in trouble. Baka going under tower. He's going to get stunned. The ultimate barely in time. And now, ooh, Jason perfectly timed. He's going to 100. Oh, that's the Viego play you like to see. And unfortunately unable to go further in that play, but great job.
Oh no, Mal's.
Oh! Grim Lobo, he runs.
You literally.
Papa actually, and Jason KB going to be doing it.
Oh, he's out of mana.
And oh, the Xenoblade from afar. 600 gold bounty picked up actually by the support there. Unfortunately for Yami. But we would have loved to see that shutdown onto Viego. If he got both a shutdown on Alawi and Kindred, I feel like he could have instantly become a carry threat.
Okay, so I was gonna say some really cool interactions between Consume and Kindred are whatever. Divine Sunder or Viego? So to me that screams you're just trying to duel Alawi.
It has to be, right?
Or Rel, but like, why would the top laner be 1v1ing the support?
Mortal Kombat? We'll see. It can happen. Anything can happen.
We'll see how that plays out, because it seems like there's been a lot of team fighting and less split pushing or side laning just in general. In which case, Viego with Sunder feels a little bit bad against things like Kindred and Kindred Malzahn, but we'll see.
Viego get out?
Yeah, okay, he's good.
Kindred would have loved to get some revenge, but that does finish the channel. And we'll see. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this Viego build. I guess if they get to the objectives first every time, then all of a sudden you can force them to either come to you, which is what their team comp does not want to do. They want to be the ones that...
Okay.
Uh-oh, Jason, you have made a mistake. Flashing away the Ash Arrow suppression combo. There's nothing he can do. The Leona's so tanky, but it doesn't even matter. Now the ultimate going to be pulled for Nunu. Can they get the trade? Nunu's going to be going down, but they don't even get the Rel. Rel's able to escape. Now only Magical going to be trying to get the trade onto Zyphus. Shut down for the Rumble. Now I don't think Ace in the Hole is enough. Ooh, barely not. And Young Rich Boy gets to cherish his life and his 400 gold bounty for a little while longer, but a 1-for-2 total trade for the side of Fallen University.
Man, Rel should not be alive right now.
Ooh, Bakad wanted it. You can see it in his eyes. He had one more auto to get only magical. And he does have the ultimate, so if he was able to get that, then he could potentially look for the second, but unable to do so. That was close.
Yeah, just it feels right now like Abyssal has no way to deal with this Malzahar, and that is a very terrifying position to be in when he is already 3-0, double dot item, and I'm assuming building towards Rylai's, but we will see what that Blasting Wand turns into. And yeah, okay, Botgod just gets a free mark.
Yep, as he tends to do now at 7. Only Magical Girls might be testing her luck. I think probably for the better that only Magical Girls didn't. But let's see what they decide to do next. It is a while until the next Drake spawns. no one has yet to really put too much control in the Baron area, but maybe potentially not comfortable with the idea of starting it.
Yeah, it's a little interesting to me that we don't see the Fallen University trying to posture around this Baron. They do have a lot of damage on it with Malzahar being as strong as he is. Double Kraken Slayer, also Kindred's E is just a thing. They have a lot of damage onto that neutral, so really odd to see them playing around what is Kindred's 8th mark now. That doesn't give you any, like, it gives you progress towards your next level up, but 7 is when you get that level up, so a little odd to say the least. I feel like they could be forcing fights around this Baron and basically baiting Abyssal into taking really bad fights just out of fear.
Absolutely, and especially with how their team comp is functioned, they want to have their opposition coming towards them. They want Abyssal to be forced into it, and now finally they will be starting it up.
Well, I guess that's like kind of a caster curse, I suppose. But
They listen.
yeah, I mean, they just get a free Baron. There's no way that there's a response coming out from Abyssal at this point. They don't have the damage to contest it, and I mean, they shred through the Baron. Free Baron. Woo!
Yeah, I mean, what do you even think to do at this point? How do you walk into this team comp for the side of Abyssal? I mean, they drafted themselves into this hole. They said, oh yeah, we will when they saw the team comp being built, but we'll see as they are now again on the back foot where they're able to find an advantage.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they play this one out. It almost feels like it has to be another miracle fight. We mentioned this last game with the Seraphine ults, and we almost saw it come true. But there's not as easy of a miracle ability, I'll say. It's like you have to hope for a really good Leona R. And Grim Lobo getting pulled by a Lowy is not how you want that to start.
Oh, he was one tentacle away from a watery grave. And the siege will continue.
Yeah, it's just that single cannon minion, and it's currently targeted on a Rumble, so not what you want to see if you're Fallen. But here comes the second wave. There's another cannon. Malzahar splitting bot, and it doesn't seem like Abyssal's going to be pulling the trigger here, even with it being a 5v4 in their favor.
So another yank from Alawi, and that's not an ADC. That's supposed to be a tank that just got blasted, and that's going to be Leona finding no one with the stun, only getting the slow, and Grim Lobo. Oh, that's so much damage, and now the Alawi pull are going to be doing just as much. Malzahar getting the bottom turret as well, and this seems all but rope.
Yeah, you guys gotta go at some point.
Oh, the flash forward for only Magical, trying best to finish on the Kindred, but Kindred's gonna be getting the kill. The Alawi Tentacle is doing so much work. Ash is gonna be getting one. The Malzahar suppression doing so much work, and that's 1 for 4. Jason, try as you may. Oh, he's doing work. He's on the Kindred. Oh, he's actually gonna get it. He will take the kill, but they will take his Nexus in return. That's going to be the quick 2-0 for Fallen University.
Yeah, very, very dominant performance in game 2. Much stronger early game, it seemed like, coming out for Fallen as well. And this does look a little rough for Abyssal. Already starting off 0-2 this season. It's going to be a tough trek to get back up in the standings and get towards that playoff spot.
Absolutely, and taking a look at the damage charts on Silver Scrapes this week, we were talking about the combo of Young Rich Boy and Bakad. This time around, it's going to be Bakad with Top Baller, but the one consistent factor is going to be Bakad and his Kindred. This man has been a reckoning to deal with, and at some point, you're just going to have to ban it from him.
Yeah, my concern with that, though, is you look at between these two games, and I see three champions that are exactly the same: Kindred, Malzahar, and Ashe. That screams to me you're looking for pick potential, and with the amount of damage that Ashe and Malz keep pumping out, neither Young Rich Boy nor Zyphus can be discounted either. So it's a very terrifying team to be playing up against.
Absolutely. And one of these names we haven't really heard about, the Fallen, coming in new to ZGG IBS and already coming out of the gates strong and looking like a potential top contender in the first group in IBS.
Yeah, I mean, starting out 2-0 in any tier, any division, it's going to be a really strong start, to say the least. And especially after watching these two games tonight, it's a terrifying team. Bot God seems to be just running around the map doing whatever they feel like, even if it costs their life every now and then.
Every once in a while.
Looking at you, Game 1. But especially with such a strong support group with Young Rich Boy and Zyphus, I still think Zyphus is an unsung hero in both of these games. The amount of utility that this Ashe brought to the team helped immensely with securing these two victories for Fallen University. And yeah, okay, Young Rich Boy did a lot of damage. Bot God did a lot of damage. Zyphus did a lot of damage and CC'd people. That's all I gotta say.
All right, we'll give an extra special shout out to Zyphus with that crazy Ashe performance. But that is going to be the end of the stream here. That will be Fallen University coming to 2-0, Abyssal Emerald with a 0-2 start. Thank you from all of us here at ZGG, and catch us on our socials. I think is Zero Gravity Gaming LUL on Twitch and Twitter. Check out me, Colonel Cannon, on Twitter as well. Brennan, thank you so much. Absolutely killing it, but thank you so much for watching.